I am David Robertson, and this is the second part in a video on mortise and tenon work. I don't actually talk through the video, I have narrated over top because of the sound of the gas forge. This is the mortise and tenon that I'm making, and the part that I'm working on right now is the tenon itself. We did the mortise in the last video. And that's the mortise there. It accepts a 3/4 by 3/4 inch square bar. The stock I'm using is 3/4 by 1 inch square rectangular bar. I'm using a shouldering tool. This fits in the anvil and it makes a dent on both sides of the bar at the same time when I hammer on it. Use a good yellow heat for this. I'm prying it in between the two jaws of the shouldering tool. And I'm using a fairly heavy hammer so I can create the notches quickly. I work all four sides, trying to get that indentation about 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch deep on each side. You can see the notches formed there. Straightening it out. Once the shoulder is made, I now start drawing this end out using the crosspeen of the hammer. I'm working so that part of it is off the side of the anvil, so if I hit it, I'm not going to distort it. And this is all done with the crosspeen just to stretch it out, create the peg of the tenon, and I'll work all four sides. Again, I want to be at a good yellow heat. Move the bar as fast as possible and with as little work as possible. After I finish stretching it as far as I want with the crossbeam, I'll switch to the face of the hammer and smooth all those dents up. I don't want any catch points as it fits into the socket of the mortise and tenon. So I've cleaned it up. I'm now going to drive it into the mortise, the socket that it fits into. And this is going to clean the shoulders up. I'm actually using the mortise as a monkey tool in this case. The monkey tool is just a tool that sharpens up the edges so that it fits in. You can see the bars fitting in there nicely now. The tenon itself is quite long. It's longer than what I need to actually rivet over and create the joint. So I will cut that off with a bandsaw, and it will be a little bit shorter. Now the actual riveting of the tenon. There's the mortise, it slides on top. I've got the small bar on the bottom clamped on top of the vise. This is just a sample piece. If you were working a larger piece on a table or something similar, you could clamp it in your post vise, or you could use a bump plate. You have to be innovative with this. Right now I'm torch heating the tenon so that I can rivet it over top of the mortise to create a secure joint. Torch heat is the best. You can spot heat and then you're not heating up the mortise itself. If the mortise expands, then you'll get a weak joint. So try and just spot heat the tenon itself. And I take multiple heats on this. It's quite a large bar to upset to create the rivet. This process in the video is actually done at real time, so it will take a few minutes to bring up to heat, and then the repeated hammer blows. As you can see, I'm using a good solid stroke, mushrooming this down on top of the mortise bar. This is a very strong joint, a very effective joint, and it has a lot of visual appeal to it. If you're interested in blacksmithing in general, please take a look at artistblacksmith.com. You'll find many more tips and articles there on tools and techniques. I've been smithing now for over 20 years, and I've picked up a lot of ideas that I'm trying to share with people interested in blacksmithing. I also have a number of items for sale on the item for sale page. Mushrooming it over, trying to create a nice shape onto it, sort of a rosette on the top of the mushroom. A few more hammer strokes and I'll be done. You can see it cooling. I never want to get the mortise very hot. Now we'll take a look at the finished piece. That's the finished piece, and you can see it makes a really nice joint. And I hope you visit artistblacksmith.com for more information.